Innovation Ventures. My name is Sonja Salser and I'm the founder. Today I'm delighted to speak with Dr. Sequeira, who is an Associate Professor of Management and the Alvin J. Williams Professor of Minority Entrepreneurship in the College of Business at the University of Southern Mississippi. Dr. Sequeira, thank you for taking this time to speak with us.
It's my pleasure. I'm glad to be here.
Wonderful. So, Dr. Sequeira, could you give us a little bit about your background? Where are you from? Tell us about what you do, etc.
Right. I am originally from Trinidad and Tobago. I immigrated to the United States at a young age, and I am currently, as you said, the associate professor. I teach entrepreneurship and management courses at the University of Southern Mississippi in the College of Business. Originally came to the United States because my parents immigrated here and they wanted to provide opportunities for us as a young child, and that's what brought me to the United States.
Awesome. So tell us, why are you passionate about teaching entrepreneurship? Why should students be interested in learning about entrepreneurship?
Okay. Well, it's a long journey. My undergraduate degree is in social work. And I originally was a social worker and decided to go back for an MBA because I wanted to experience the corporate aspect of social work. And having worked in the social work field for a while, I decided that I would go back for an MBA and potentially see what opportunities lie for me. Mm-hmm. I decided at that time that I would start my own business, and I started doing a little bit of consulting on the side because I felt that I had the skills, the knowledge, the capabilities to assist small businesses with who are trying to be more successful. Mm-hmm. And having seen that and seeing the experiences of those small businesses, I started thinking about, what could I potentially do for myself. And I'm very passionate about dolls. Mm-hmm. I love dolls, and I'm a doll collector. Mm-hmm. And one day I was just bumming around, going to garage sales, antique malls, and I came upon a pattern to make dolls, mm-hmm. fabric dolls. And having had the ability to sew at that time, I said, I think that I could make a doll like this. And brought the pattern home, started experimenting with the pattern, and found that I could make these dolls. Started making dolls, altering the pattern, mm-hmm. using different fabrics, different materials, different hairs. Lots of my fabrics were from Africa. Mm-hmm. We used a real human hair mm-hmm. on the fabric dolls. And I just loved that whole thing of trying to do something for myself. So my friends would come over because all my dolls would be lined up on my couch in the living room. Mm-hmm. And they would always comment about how beautiful these dolls are. I should think about selling them. Mm-hmm. And I really didn't take it seriously, what they had to say, but then I said, what do I have to lose? So I just ran with that opportunity. Started selling my dolls. I learned how to do porcelain dolls, mm-hmm. how to make the accessories that accompanied the porcelain dolls, mm-hmm. and went into my own business. And that is sort of what spurred that passion for entrepreneurship. As you know, that it's very difficult when you're a small business owner to balance family and work and mm-hmm. traveling with a business and those kinds of things. So my children were suffering on the end. I mean, they were seeing the consequences of having an entrepreneur as a mom. Wow. And so I said, what else could I possibly do with the knowledge that I have, the experience, the challenges that minority female entrepreneur faces? What else could I do with that information that I have? I want to be able to share that passion that I have, number one, but also help others who possibly were experiencing the same things that I experienced as a new entrepreneur. And so I said, you know, I'd love to be able to just teach. So I went back and got my PhD in management with a concentration in entrepreneurship.
Wow.
And started teaching at the university level. And I have a passion for it. I love entrepreneurship. I love to be able to see someone have an idea, help them to develop that idea, and then see them run with it and make it a success. So that's my passion, and that's why I think that students should really consider entrepreneurship as a career option.
Wow, what a wonderful story about, you know, making the dolls and moving from just making it for yourself to selling it.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's great. And I know there's much more behind
Much more,
it.
yes.
You have co-authored works that speaks about a female immigrant entrepreneur. Can you tell us a little bit about that body of work and how important it is?
Yes, because of my experience, number one, as a female and as an immigrant entrepreneur, that really stirred my research interest. And that's one of the things that I was really focused on when I entered the PhD program, that I really wanted to look at what are some of the fundamental thoughts that female immigrant entrepreneurs have. I knew what my thoughts were. I knew the challenges that I had as a female entrepreneur, as a minority entrepreneur, and as an immigrant entrepreneur. And I wanted to see what really motivated these women to begin businesses, because they face lots of discrimination. As a female and as a minority, you already have what is called that double bind. You're discriminated against because you're a woman, but you're also discriminated against because you may be a woman of color. Some of the challenges are that these women have difficulty finding funding, because in general, women-owned businesses tend to be smaller. They tend to be in very traditional occupations, such as service-oriented businesses. Research has shown that they don't earn as much depending on the industry that they're in, and it's difficult for them to get formal financing because of the whole banking institution is very singular in its approach to funding. And so I know what I experienced, and I wanted to see, well, if these women are facing the same challenges that I faced, how do they overcome those issues? What is it that helps them to overcome these issues? Do they have a higher level of coping skills? Are they more resilient? Are they more passionate than others? Is it because they're an immigrant that they're willing to take more risk, and so therefore they may have a higher risk tolerance? Is it because the whole experience of immigrating has given them much more self-confidence, and therefore they're able to approach businesses with a higher level of confidence? So those are all the research questions that I really wanted to explore. And I'm still exploring that. I'm finding out that immigrant women entrepreneurs are very unique, but we don't know specifically what makes them unique. What are the fundamental factors that contribute to that uniqueness and resiliency that helps them to become successful? So we're still exploring that, and my research is still exploring those areas.
Very interesting. So what advice would you, in your research right now, from what you have found, what advice would you give a woman who's an entrepreneur who is immigrated from the Caribbean? What are based on what your research has shown in your own background?
Yes. Well, I think one of the things that's fundamental to success is developing a network. A network of individuals who are passionate about what you're passionate about, as well as who are positive and can provide that positive energy that you need sometimes when you're maybe feeling a little isolated. Because as entrepreneurs, whether male or female, you tend to feel that sense of isolation at times. And so the woman entrepreneur needs to surround herself with people, number one, who are knowledgeable, who are passionate about her idea, who have bought into her idea, and she needs to share that idea, because often we think, especially coming from the Caribbean, we have this thing that we don't want to tell anybody else.
Yes.
Our secret,
Right.
a secret formula, you know, for our business, and we tend to hold that in.
Yes.
And often we don't allow others the opportunity to help us in any way that they can help us. So I guess the first thing would be develop a network of other women and men as well, because men can also be very supportive. But definitely develop some type of social network that you can count on. Two, make sure that you are knowledgeable, you have done your due diligence, and that you seek formal financing, because we tend to, as women in general, we tend to not seek formal financing, women entrepreneurs that is, because they have this thing that, oh well, we're not going to get it anyway, so why try? You know, give it a try, seek formal financing, do your ultimate best to make sure that people understand the value of your idea. That way they can be supportive of your idea. Just be prepared. I think that's my thing that I would suggest, and have a good plan.
Okay.
Know what you want to do, know what your path is, and have a good plan so that when others want to know more about your business, you have a great document that you can give them to say, this is what this is all about. This is what you're investing in when you invest in me.
Got it, got it. So as you teach entrepreneurship, is there a specific topic that you really enjoy teaching? Venture funding, go-to-market strategy? Is there anything specific that is there and dear to your heart?
One of the things that I really enjoy teaching is creativity.
Okay.
Because when I talk to students and I ask them, you know, how many in here believe that they're creative? Maybe one or two hands might go up. Because they think that creativity has to do with being able to draw, or being able to paint, or being able to sing, those artistic sorts of formats. But I can draw a stick figure. But I have lots of ideas and lots of ways of thinking about these ideas. And so creativity is an aspect that I like to have students really work on early in my classroom. It's probably the second skill that I try to build in students, to think about, you know, how do you think differently? If you look at this chair, okay, yes, the chair is for sitting, but what else could this chair possibly be? Think beyond that, as they say, the box. You know, think beyond the box. What else, what other features, what other benefits might you add to this chair to make it much more innovative and unique and different from all the other chairs on the market? But you can't make it so unique and so different that only one person can afford to buy it.
Right.
No, you have to balance that uniqueness and that innovation with value that people are willing to pay for. And so I try to spur those ideas. We go through lots of experiential exercises about how to build your creativity, how to begin thinking innovatively. If you're working for a company, how could you add value to that company through your creativity? And I really enjoy it, and I think that I probably get too passionate and excited about it because, you know, their eyes start opening and they say, you know, well, calm down.
Okay.
But that's an aspect of entrepreneurship that I love, is teaching the skill of creativity and innovation.
Awesome. What is your hope for entrepreneurs in the Caribbean, or in the Caribbean region in general?
Well, I think my hope is that they begin to become aware that they can be their own boss. That it is not necessary for them to work for a big company, work for the government. I remember when I was growing up, my grandmother would say to me, Jenny, you need to get a good education so you can go and get a good job with the government. And I think oftentimes the older generation feel that that's the ultimate, the pinnacle, when you have a good education. But I believe that there's so much more that you can do with that good education. So I want Caribbean students to think about the possibilities without overanalyzing it too much. See themselves as being a job creator, an economy developer, a community developer, a person who could possibly change the way that people live today, the way that people think today, how people can be more innovative. What new product, what new service can you bring out, just like the next Google or the next Apple? I mean, you know, envision yourself. Don't put a limit on what you're able to do. So just the whole awareness of entrepreneurship, I think, is important, and not placing limits.
On yourself. Great. So my final question to you is, what's your favorite Caribbean dish?
Lots of dishes. I don't have one particular dish that I love, because we have so many wonderful foods all throughout the Caribbean. But of course, I'm biased because I'm from Trinidad. But on Sundays we cook some very, very special dishes, and we call it Sunday food.
Okay.
So some of the things that we have is like stewed chicken. So we have stewed chicken with rice. Potato salad, callaloo, with crab is one of my favorite things, and then we also have red beans. So all of that together makes a meal. Other people have lots of other things like baked pork and other dishes that they add, but those were the traditional things, traditional foods that we had on Sunday. So everybody looked forward to getting together and eating on Sunday. So those things make up my favorite dish, if you want to put it in that package. But it's not just one dish, but the whole experience of Sunday food is just wonderful.
Awesome. Sounds very tasty. I'm getting very hungry. Well, Dr. Sequeira, I want to thank you again for spending time with Caribbean Innovation
It's been a
Ventures.
pleasure. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, and we look forward to the results of your research about what makes immigrant women unique.
Yes.
So I'm sure there's going to be a lot that you'll have to share with that.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. To my Caribbean audience, I want to thank you for listening in on this program, and remember to reach for the sky, because if you fall, you're going to fall in coconut trees, but if you reach for coconut trees, you're going to fall on the ground. Bye.